Right then, League One action between Leighton Orient and Luton. Here are my thoughts going into this game. And yet again, from a Luton perspective, I do not know how this game is going to go because this Luton team keeps surprising me every single week. And I just don't know what to expect anymore. Please smash the like button on today's video. Let me know how you are feeling going into this game against Leyton Orient. And if you are new to my channel, hit that sub button. Now, both teams lost in the second round of the FA Cup. Salford beat Leighton Orient 4-0 on Friday night. And then Luton, we lost on penalties against Fleetwood on the Saturday. And I've seen some people react to the result online. And some people are calling it a blessing. I cannot get my head around how losing a game of football against a lower league side is a blessing. Oh, we can focus on the league. The same league that we've just been inconsistent in. Our squad is more than capable of handling the amount of games that we have in a season. It's that big. We've got a big budget. We don't have a small budget where we're just relying on 15 to 16 players to remain fit. In fact, we've got plenty of players in every position so we can handle the game load. So for me, losing against a lower league side is not good enough. And if I actually went to the game and after witnessing Luton get knocked out of the competition and I was reading posts online saying it's a blessing, I would be absolutely fuming with those people because I would have paid my money, I would have done the travelling to get to Fleetwood around Christmas time. It's not exactly cheap. You know, there are other things to worry about, especially at this time of the year. To see people call it a blessing, it might be a blessing because we can focus on the league. No, this is the most fragile, I want to say lacking confidence group of players I've ever known at Luton. We're very weak in terms of our mentality. And it wasn't long ago where I got to speak to the coaching staff and the key word they kept using was confidence. We don't have much of it. So to lose against a team in League Two, and I don't want to take anything away from Fleetwood, but to lose against a team in League Two, I can't imagine they've gained loads of confidence from that. You know, I can imagine it's impacted them slightly. And for me, if I was in that dressing room, I would be absolutely fuming because I hate losing games of football. I think it's unacceptable whether you're playing against the very best in the country or, you know, you're playing the worst. I expect a group of players to fight and try and win a game of football. Oh, at least the players didn't give up and they did show a bit of fight. That's the bare expectation. So for me, I find this blessing in disguise absolute nonsense. A cup run could be the highlight of our season. There is no guarantee that we're going to win promotion. In fact, if we want to win promotion, there is so much work to be done. And we need to have a good Christmas period, in my opinion. I would love to finish the year off on a high and then start 2026 and do not repeat the last 2 calendar years because we haven't won enough games, in my opinion, to be satisfied. It's not been good enough. We've been below the standards which we thought we were going to see at the very start of this season. We've got the biggest budget in the league and we're not acting like it. At least when Birmingham were in League One, they had the biggest budget in the league, but they backed it up with performances and getting results, and we're not quite doing that. So for me, going into this game against Leighton Orient, I just don't know what to expect. And believe it or not, I actually like Leighton Orient. From what I've seen so far this year, apart from the defending aspect of their game, I'm liking what I'm seeing going forward. So let's have a look at their strengths. So their strengths are they're really good at creating chances. They're one of the best in the league. In fact, they've created 45 big chances, which is the highest in League One. And they've had about 428 touches in the opposition box. So I do expect former Leighton Orient goalkeeper Josh Keeley to be quite busy. In fact, our defence, although when you look at the stats and compare it to other teams in this division, it's not exactly terrible. I expect them to be worked. They're not going to have an easy afternoon. And personally for me, if you can keep Aaron Connolly and also Dominic Ballard quiet, they are Leighton Orient's 2 best players, then I think we will have a chance in getting something away against Leighton Orient. But those two players are their two reliable goal scorers. Aaron Connolly, who is a former Luton Town player, we had him on loan during our League One title winning season when we had Nathan Jones and MacArthur took over. He's currently got 12 goal contributions so far this season, 8 goals and 4 assists. And then Dominic Ballard has scored 7 goals. He's very prolific in the penalty box. They are a very high possession team. They do like to control possession if they can. They like to be front-footed. Richie Wellens, for me, as a gaffer, he's someone that I would run through a brick wall for. And listening to his interviews after the game, he just says it how it is. They lost 4-0 against Salford. It wasn't good enough. And the way he basically came out after the game and expressed his concerns, his thoughts on the defeat, you know, he's the type of gaffer for me, you don't want to get on the wrong side of him, and he was not happy. So what I'm trying to say is I do expect a reaction from the Leighton Orient players after losing against League Two side Salford. Also, in terms of, well, I've already spoken about how they do create loads of chances. They do get loads of shots away. In fact, they do average 4.4 shots on target per match. Connolly alone averages 4 shots per 90. So I do expect Connolly, if he does have space and time outside the box, to have a few attempts, and he will try and cause a few problems. In terms of their aggressive defensive ability, they commit a lot of tackles, which can be deemed as a good thing, but also a bad thing. They do get right into it. They will definitely be aggressive. They definitely will be physical, and they will commit a lot of challenges. Now, the stats say they average 17.4 tackles per match, which is a lot higher than what we currently do at the moment. But that can also be a weakness, which I do want to talk about in a second. But expect our strikers to have a battle, and I don't know if Yates is the right person for this battle. Maybe Lassie Nordos would be a lot better. I'm not too sure if Lassie Nordos is going to start on Tuesday. I much would rather him start, because I think attacking wise, Luton, we are a lot better compared to having someone like Yates up top. Yates, for me, I just feel like we're like playing with 10 men. I think defenders have an easy afternoon when he's playing, you know, up top, because off the ball he doesn't impact. He doesn't do enough for me. Yeah, okay, you're making these intelligent runs and sometimes that ball isn't coming into you. But Danny Hilton, for me, he wasn't someone that won a lot of headers in the air. He didn't win many headers. But what he did was he competed. He made defenders know that he was there. Whereas with Yates, I just don't think he's that type of striker, and he really does frustrate me. Although he did score, he scored a tap-in, right place at the right time, fantastic. But I want to see more. You know, we did pay a lot of money for him, and the last time he was playing at this level, he scored goals. So there's obviously something there. We're just not seeing it. So, yeah, those are the strengths of Leighton Orient. In terms of their weaknesses, they do have a very weak defence. I have already referenced this in today's video. They concede 1.6 goals per match. Luton, we concede 1.2. In terms of Leighton Orient, I think they would have had a much better season so far if they were much tighter at the back. As I've already spoken about, they're one of the best teams going forward. But then, does that come at a, you know, weakness when they're so leaky at the back and there's not really many players protecting that defence? But they have conceded a lot of goals, but I do expect them to get better as the season goes on. They can be wasteful in front of goal, despite me saying how good they are in front of it. They've missed 31 big chances, which is one of the highest in the league. Connolly himself has missed 8 big chances. So, yes, they are very good going forward, but they do miss a few chances. So we can't be gifting them chance after chance. We do need to be tightening up at the back. They are very poor in their discipline. As I've already mentioned, they are very, you know, aggressive in their tackling, but that means they do give away lots of set pieces. So set pieces could be a way of Luton trying to figure out a way to score. In terms of, they do play out from the back, like most teams do nowadays, despite not having the right players for it. They are victims of the press. And Luton, believe it or not, we're actually quite a good team out of possession in terms of our press. We do win the ball back quite high up on the pitch very frequently compared to other teams in the division. We're one of the best at doing it. So that could be an area which we basically try and strike Leighton Orient and take full advantage of. And then another weakness is they are also very inconsistent. That's why they are mid-table in League One as we are recording this video. They do beat us. They do go above Luton in the league. But yeah, they're very inconsistent. Their last 2 games, although they were both cup competitions, they lost against Plymouth at home and then they lost away to Salford 4-0. But then before those 2 games, they beat Burton 4-0. So they can be very inconsistent. And I've seen some of the games which they've had so far this year against Cardiff, against Port Vale. And they do have a never give up attitude at times. But yeah, their defence, it's a bit weird because they're so good going forward, but then because there's so much space when they go forward, teams just really exploit that and take full advantage and, yeah, basically create chances against their weak defence. So I've gone through their strengths and weaknesses. In terms of Luton, like I've already mentioned, I don't know really what to expect from Luton going into this game. Of course, I just take the 3 points. We need to have a good December. If we want to win promotion, and I don't really want to keep talking about promotion because I think we are miles away from a promotion winning team. But I just find it absolutely crazy that we've kind of been very average this year. And that's me being really polite. And yet we're still like just outside of those playoff positions, which is just crazy. Just shows you how like poor the league is this year. But I don't know what to expect. I've got a feeling there's going to be a few changes from the game, well, from the starting 11 that played against, obviously, Fleetwood on the weekend. Keeley will be back. I want to see Hakim Adofin back into the side, a bit of leadership, a bit of, someone who's got a really good attitude. I actually think should be the captain of the football club from what I've seen. And he's done a fantastic job at right wing back. I want Bramall playing left wing back. And yeah, I do want to see Richards start. I know he didn't really, I know he got taken off at, I think it was half-time against Fleetwood. Hopefully, injury-wise, he's okay. But yeah, I do want to see him in the starting 11 because I just think we are a much better side with him. And he just plays with no fear. And I do want to see Lassie Nordos up top because I think out of all of our strikers, he's the better one out of a bad bunch, if I'm being honest with you. So yeah, that's kind of how I'm feeling. I just don't know what to expect. I just don't want to lose. I would like to see a reaction following a defeat. Let's see what we get because, yeah, I just don't know with this Luton team. Let me know your score predictions down below and let me know how you are feeling. And, yeah, I'll see you guys in the match reaction. I'm going to the game, so I'll see you when I get back from London on Tuesday night. Thank you for watching.